and her staff for including me in the Aberdeen 101 Civics Academy. And I think this would be another great opportunity for us, not only to learn more about our city operations, but I'm hoping I can find more opportunities to help connect our community with our kids. So I thank you for your consideration of that.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak? Oh, okay, we'll move on then to our consent agenda. Oh, I'm sorry. Come on. I'm sorry, I'm kind of moving along too quickly.
Oh, no, it's okay. I was trying to get up. Thank you. Hi, I'm a resident here. I'm a resident here in the city, and I'm concerned about the EMS raise on what we'll be paying every month on our bill. I don't understand why it isn't on the tax rolls. And for to vote in to almost double the price and us have no say, why is it not on the tax rolls? So we vote on it. I don't really understand this. This is a very poor community, and this doesn't seem reasonable to me. I just think it should be considered that this needs to be put on the tax rolls. So we're paying it out of what we do instead of on a monthly basis. It's unreasonable. $67 a month is a lot to put on people. And for every household, that's taking it up to $5,349,000. And I was only counting 6,600 homes in the area. And I don't know how far out that all reaches for this, but it just seems very unreasonable for such a poor community. I'll be paying $200 a month on my water bill now, for, and these other things are included, but $200 is a lot. Most of us are retired or poor. Same difference, I think. But I think it should really be considered to be put on the tax roll so people have a choice. That's what we're supposed to do in this country, is vote in what we want. We're not asked how much, what's next. I just think it needs consideration more. I appreciate you listening. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other problem? Agenda.
Motion to approve tonight's consent agenda, which includes the minutes of the January 10th meeting, accounts payable, and payroll.
Second.
Is there any discussion on this? All in favor? Opposed? Thank you, passes. Okay, now we'll go on to the mayor's report, and I just wanted to, a couple things. So, I attended the Downtown Association meeting last week, and it was very nice. I'm just gonna let you know what I did. Anyway, also, last week I attended City Action Days in Olympia, and I attended funding public safety and criminal justice housing proposals. I chose not to attend their legislative reception. On day two, I did attend a legislative update, a National League of Cities update, and state forecast and budget overview. And yesterday I visited Oak Plain High School. I hadn't been there since 1977 when I graduated, but it's part of the art advisory committee. Nice group of people there. So I also wanted to put out this suggestion, if anybody's interested in joining. I'd like a group of citizens and people, anybody, to help us put together a Christmas package. We're gonna roll out new Christmas decorations this year, and I'd like us to have, I want Aberdeen to be a place that people come to look at our lights. And I really want us to be that place. I love Montesano and their parade, and I think they do an excellent job of that. We don't want to take anything away from that, but I also want people coming into our city, whether it's in South Aberdeen or this side, to want to stop and look at our Christmas. And so that would also include trying to, this group would meet with some of the downtown business owners, property owners, to see if we could fill up the vacant buildings up for the holiday with holiday shops. Just kind of like they used to do in the malls when we had a mall here. Every holiday. Also looking to bring back the dog parade and bike parade and the s'mores on K Street that we did before I had the funding taken away from me because I was the mayor. So I think there must be a way we can continue that. And then also creating some kind of a citywide home decorating contest and we'll get businesses to supply us with some gifts and maybe a big fat sign that says winner or something. So that when our trolley goes through, it's very successful every holiday and we like them to see lots of lights and not as many houses with no lights on. Anyway, so this funding that we have for the holiday decorations comes from money that was put in the budget this year. It comes from some LTAC funds that Director Barn applied for. And then speaking with Grace Harbor Community Foundation, they said they would like to get a letter from us of intent and they would like to help us out also. So, so that concludes my little report. Let's see here, Administrator Clemens isn't here, so we don't have that to deal with. But we do have a student representative here that might like to give us a report. Go ahead, Josh.
All right. Hello, council. I have spoken directly with high school students as well as conducted an online poll, which was mostly completed by parents and grandparents. Both in my in-person conversations and the poll showed that students want more involvement, improved crosswalk and traffic safety around the school, and more job/volunteer opportunities. I would also like to note that Aberdeen High School cheer will be leaving for the state competition on Friday the 6th, and will perform Saturday the 7th at 5:40 p.m. at Battleground High School. Please wish us the best as they represent our school and community. Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck. Yeah, you know what you just mentioned about the improved traffic lights around the high school. We don't have any lights there per se, but we do have a lot of stop signs that when there's a big event, there's a lot of things going on. People just blow through those stop signs and there are kids all over the place. So we talked about putting some lighted stop signs. We're gonna look into the price of that and see maybe a car wash or something. Or the council has discretionary funds they could fund that for us. So thank you. All right. Any director report? Thanks. Any directors reports? Director Scott.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I'm going to try to make this as brief as possible. I'm going to do our year-end wrap-up report for community development, and you don't have it before you, but I will email it out to you all. The Community Development Department team is comprised of 4 divisions: the Building Division, the Code Compliance Division, the Planning Division, and the Property Maintenance Division. The Building and Property Maintenance Division during 2025 continue to foster an atmosphere that is conducted to building development and construction. This building division has 3 employees: the building official, the building inspector 1 in charge of our rental program, and also the permit technician / floodplain administrator. This division is responsible for reviewing construction plans for compliance with building, plumbing, mechanical, energy, and barrier-free design codes and ordinances. This division issues permits for new and remodel construction projects, floodplain requirements, and etc. In 2025, this saw our record highest year ever in permit revenue. At $1.4 million, we issued a total of 1,764 permits. This also includes a total of 94 new housing units. And in the housing units, it is new houses, additions, bedroom additions, ADUs, which are accessory dwelling units, apartments, triplexes, fourplexes, and manufactured homes. If you remember last year, we did 181. So we're definitely meeting the housing needs. And this is from a city that went years with zero new construction. So the last 2 years in particular have been very good for us in housing. We had 14 demolitions that were done in 2025. 2 of them were done by the city, the rest were done by property owners and homeowners. So that is really good. There are years that we did all of the demolitions, but we have been working very feverishly with our property owners to do their own demolitions. One of the other things is our building official, John Paget, instituted a program where he has been working with property owners who don't have the funds to remodel. They're sitting on vacant homes and they just want to walk away. So he's been putting those people in touch with a list of contractors who have signed up with the city to make arrangements for them to pick up those properties for whatever the purchase price is and go forward with the remodel. And that has been successful. We've had several of that happen. So that's been wonderful. We're trying everything in our power to not have to spend the city's money on demolitions. One of the big things that is a challenge for us is when you see a house that burns or a structure, garage, the homeowner can grab the insurance and walk away and leave us with domestically. So that has also been a challenge as well. So sometimes when you see a burnt structure, we have to wait for the insurance company to get done, the fire department to get done, but they're pretty quick. But we're left holding the bag and dealing with an abatement, which is a large expense to the city. But we've been trying to work our way through that and we're getting ahead. We have 49 cases that are on our abatement list that are actively being remodeled. So again, that's our department working really hard and making sure that we are getting cooperation from our citizens. The division also performed 146 rental inspections for the city in 2025. That's a lot of inspections. We have approximately 485 rental licenses, and that's a little misleading because it is one license for, say, like the apartment complexes that may have hundreds of apartments. It's one license. So we actually have over 2,000 units listed and registered within the city, and they get inspected every 3 years. So that's been really good. And we were also able to close 92 rentals that were not previously registered, leaving roughly 59 units that were not licensed. The Code Compliance Division, which is everybody's favorite topic, received and investigated 394 nuisance complaints, which has been significantly down. And I think it's because we have been very proactive when before we've been reactive. So that's really cut down on the number of cases that actually call in. And that's on conditions of private property. So we don't typically do anything in the right of way. It's just private property, but we have been helping parking enforcement with some of the parking complaints that we've been getting on the right of way. But George handles most of that, but we do help with that process. Most of the nuisance complaints, as in previous years, deal with garbage, overgrown vegetation, parking, people living in recreational vehicles, and homelessness. Code enforcement dealt with 65 complaints on people building without permits and assisted in finding 83 properties operating without rental licenses. This division houses 2 employees, code enforcement officer, and a code compliance specialist. This crew is also out every morning walking the downtown and the parks to make sure that we are waking people up and moving people along. On average, it's usually anywhere from 0 to about 7 people that they wake up. So we have seen a very much decrease in our unhoused population within city limits. And they deal with a lot of camps as well, but they're out every day making sure that we're getting people garbage picked up and moved along. Is it perfect? No, but I think we've done a tremendous job from where we were. The planning division conducted roughly 1,200 land use permits and reviews, which includes critical areas, shoreline permits, short subdivisions, SEPA checklists, which are your land use checklists, building permits, historic preservation applications, etc. Staff also review all business license applications that come in to make sure that they're in compliance for zoning in the areas they are for. And we began working on the library remodel projects, which will come forward at the end of this year for construction. And this division houses one person, which is me. The department as a whole, we also staff the planning commission, historic preservation commission, the building code commissions, the hearings examiner, the development team, and the economic development team. So I kind of just did a really high level overview. But this year in particular, I was really proud of our staff, $1.4 million record year. Our expenses, including all abatement, nuisance abatement, was at 870. So we were, as a department, able to turn over a $500,000 back to the general fund. So that is a record year, like I said, for us. Sometimes we were the ones sucking money from the general fund, but we've been, for the last several years, we've been studying and taking care of ourselves and taking care of the city. So I will email all this out to you so you have it, and I am available for questions if you guys have any.
I remember you mentioning something about if the contractor or someone who was doing the work was not from Grays Harbor, that they were gonna pay a higher amount for their permits. Am I remembering?
No,
that
that's not.
correctly? That's the, yeah, I didn't think it
No,
would be.
we charge, everybody pays the same.
Same.
Our permits are totally dependent upon how much your project costs. So if you I'll give you an example. We have, someone's replacing their windows and they're using Anderson windows. Their permit's probably like $55,000. Someone just replacing basic windows from Home Depot, we need 15. So the permit's totally based on the value of the project,
Okay,
including labor.
okay.
No prevailing wage, no. The only time we get into that is when the public works more so than anybody else, but anytime a city bids out a project to work on, we have to get there. So when we tear anything down demolition wise, it costs us a lot more than the individual. So that's why we always try to get them to take care of their own. So if there's any questions, you guys know how to get a hold of me. Please feel free. Our door's open if you have any discussions that you want to have with us or future directions or things that you'd like to know more about. Come on in. We're always there. Thank you.
Congratulations. So we have a presentation now from the Chehalis Basin Flood Authority for an update. What? Let's do that before we do the presentation, council reports. Start with you.
After the last meeting, committees met and sorted out everyone's committee assignments for the year. I've worked with Student Representative Jacobs and Public Works to look at the potential of adding more lights to the crosswalks or lighted stop signs near AHS. I also worked with several staff members to have the full agenda packets posted online earlier, so citizens have more time to read and review them. The packet this week for this meeting was posted on Friday the 23rd, and they'll be posted on Monday before the meetings now for like one extra day. I also just wanted to point out there is a community blood drive taking place at Grays Harbor College on Tuesday, February 10th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
I could hear it.
Thank you.
Didn't want to recommend.
Any other council reports?
Waiting for Josh.
Oh, I got nothing.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Carrie.
This is from the Public Safety Committee. So the police report, we get a 6-month comparison report. And there's a lot of numbers here, but the total calls are down 3%. And if you don't count traffic stops, they're down 11%. They have a police services officer that graduated from the Corrections Officer Academy 2 weeks ago. Newest police officer, Sean O'Donnell, starts next week. And then he will be going to the 17-week basic law enforcement academy the following week. And they still have 2 PSO vacancies. That's the police services officer and 1 police officer vacancy. For fire, they have a new battalion chief unit that went into service on Saturday, the 17th. And they actually self-built this battalion chief unit. And in so doing, saved about $100,000 over what it would have cost to buy that outright. There were 3 structure fires and one on the 19th, one on the 24th, one on the 27th. And they also have some vacancies. They have one firefighter paramedic candidate currently going through the pre-employment process. And they have applications for the firefighter and paramedic that are open for the other vacancies.
Thank you. Any other? Absolutely words. That's not my phone, it sounds exactly. All right, so now we'll go back to the Chehalis Basin Flood Authority and let's see, that must be at the fund. And Scott, I'm sorry,
Betcher.
and Vicky Rains.
Commissioner.
Yes.
Once again, my name is Edna Fine. I am the Lewis County representative on the Flood Authority and newly elected as the chair. Just one piece of history. Vicky has been the chair and I've been the vice chair for 15 years. So we've served a lot, we've seen a lot, and I think this area has changed a lot. I'm going to introduce Betcher to you, who's staff, who's been around here in your area and helping with projects. I just also want to say a little personal privilege. I like coming to Grays Harbor County. My parents were Dutch immigrants and they first came to Grays Harbor County when they came from, so it's coming home to where they used to live.
Okay, I'm Scott Betcher, and I have a presentation for you. I'm staff to the Flood Authority. And am I sharing my screen?
It's not showing up, but you are listed as a presenter, so you should be able to.
I should be able to. Okay, it's not. Oh, share, there we go. Screen.
There we go.
That's something that-
Looks like it, there we go. Okay,
Okay,
perfect.
excellent. Let's get this set up. Okay. So I'm Scott Betcher. I'm staff to the Chehalis River Basin Flood Authority. I've been with the authority since 2013 or something like that. Yeah. And this presentation is sort of an outgrowth of a meeting we had at the Flood Authority a couple months ago, where we're kind of taking stock of some of the projects that we were doing in the lower basin and working with Nick and Rick on the pump needs that you all have. And it really became sort of apparent to us that we've really done a lot of work down here. We wanted to share that with you. And some of you are new council members. And so today is about sharing with you the work that all of us collectively with your departments and the city of Hope Wayne have done to invest in the lower basin with respect to floods. So if that sounds okay. I'll proceed forward.
Can you make sure to speak into the microphone?
Oh,
Thank you.
is that good?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's great. Thank you.
Good. Let this control. Okay, so flooding is not new to you. You know you have flooding. You've had flooding over many, many years. 21 federally declared disasters since 1964. Pictures you're probably all familiar with. I don't know how you fared this last series of atmospheric rivers.
We did call it.
You did great.
We didn't have any flooding.
Good.
In Aberdeen.
Good.
So because of what you guys did.
So where you are, we work in the whole basin. So we work at the headwaters up in PL, all the way down to Cosmopolis. And geography is key, okay? And so if you were to look at that cross section of the Chehalis Basin, up in PL, in the upper left-hand corner, the basin is steep. Water comes pouring out of the Willoughby Hills, and it starts coursing its way down quickly towards Chehalis and Centralia. And then it kind of flattens out. And in Chehalis and Centralia, there's Mellon Street, and there's a pinch point there, and the water just can't get through there fast enough, so it all backs up. I-5, Chehalis, Centralia, and that's why you'll see in the middle there, kind of a lake thing. Then, once it finally gets through into the lower basin, it spreads out really far and wide. You know, so up the upper basin, Chehalis, Centralia, 8 feet of water, 10 feet of water. Down here, you don't get that kind of depth, but it's all over the place. And so as you come on down, you get down to sea level, and then it becomes very difficult to drain, right? So that's the geography that you just, you know, you all know that intuitively where you live, but the people in the upper basin don't know the lower basin, people in the lower basin don't know the upper basin. Here's a picture that kind of reinforces the point that you're at the lowest part in the basin. Everything flows down to you. It compounds when you have a king tide or a tide and an onward pressure, it holds it all in. And so to evacuate waters out of Aberdeen and Hoquiam, we spent a lot of time working with Rick and Nick and their predecessors. In fact, we first came down here when Larry Bledsoe was your public works director back in 2013, and we started talking to him about a vision and a strategy for the lower basin. Because you have so many different sub basins, they don't have much elevation, you don't have a lot of ability to drain out, but the solution really becomes, oh, and then you also have aging infrastructure. So you have, it's very difficult to drain, you have aging infrastructure, it's a horrible problem. And back in 2007, it was. Back in 2009, it was. But the solution, and you all know this, is pumps and levees. Pumps and levees. That is what you can do. The upper basin, we're dealing with highly erosive, fast-flowing water. We need protection. Middle part of the basin, we're trying to find a way to throttle and get the water out. Down here, we're trying to find ways to keep your cities dry and pump that water out. Okay. So in 2012, with Larry Bledsoe, we set up 4 little small projects: Wishkah River, South Shore Levee, Burger King Trail, and Market Street. They're going to be little dikes on the river. Fast forward, those grew into what now is the North Shore Levee in the west segment. So we've been down here helping you, working with you since 2012. 2016, the county helped support the Timberworks master plan process, which really laid out a vision for what could happen down here, what this place could become. Quick little picture about pumps and levees. They work. That is the solution for you all. This is a picture from the middle part of the basin, the airport. This is the 22 flood. And the pump would be, there's a picture of the pump on the left, but it would be at the very end of the runway to the right. And it's basically keeping everything inside that levee system dry. And once your North Shore Levee and West segment go in, that's what you will look like too. The neat thing about this 22 flood was a big flood. All the businesses that were behind the levee, people went to work every single day. They kept producing and they kept generating tax revenue back to the state, such that the $1 million investment for that pump, or the $1.4 million, it generates $45 million a year in investment, back, tax revenue back to the state. So these things pay for themselves. So pumps and levees work for not only floods, but for the economy. Here's a picture of the pump station that the Rainbow Street pump station that first one we did in Hoquiam. Dry Creek pump station, you're aware of that. But what I wanted to show you, which we've been having some fun with, is we created a dashboard and web-based GIS dashboard. I'm going to show it to you in a minute. And I want you to just look at all the icons on the map, because those are product of this partnership with the Chehalis River Basin Flood Authority, the Office of Chehalis Basin, and the Chehalis Basin Board. These people and these organizations have been working tirelessly for the last 18 years, really, when the Flood Authority first got started, to where we are today. So I'm going to click on this link here. Okay, so I'll make that a little larger. So the green pumps are pumps that are completed and in place. Okay. Yellow is a pump that's under construction right now. The white is a pump that's still in need of design. And then the blue is a pump that we're seeking funding for, as well as here too. So that's great pictures on a map. But if you were to look at Queen Street, for example, that pump was $2 million. It's protecting 493 people, protecting $41 million in assessed value, 9 businesses. If we add in Raymer Street, now we're at $3.3 million in investment. We're protecting 1.3 thousand people, 116 million in assessed value, 17 businesses. And we'll add in 10th because that's done. Now we're protecting 1.4 thousand people, 134 million, 33 business parcels. Fry Creek, $27 million invested, but we're protecting $281 million. 84 businesses. And then if we go to K Street, which is under construction right now, will be $30 million of investment. We're protecting 3,500 people, half $500 million in investment, and 132 businesses. Nick and I will be with the Chehalis Basin Board on February the 5th, seeking funding for the Farragut pump station. We're cautiously optimistic. If we get that funding, then when that goes online, that would be late fall of 27. Late fall of 27. Farragut will go online. 26. Late fall of 26. Yeah, another flood season. Those numbers go to 33 million, 4,600 people, $500 million in assessed value. Leaving only Riverside and Division left to do. Riverside is a smaller one. That would bring us up to that. But Division, what we're really trying to do is get Farragut done and get Riverside done so that the attention can go on to Division. So that's a big pump. And watch what happens to the numbers once that goes online. $1 billion of assessed value are protected. And 10,000 people, 300 businesses. So with this process we've been in, we had been from 2018 when Raymer Street came online to today, we just marching away, getting pump done after pump done after pump done for the benefit of people and businesses down here and the economy. So pumps are one thing. To show you the parcels that they protect to, kind of gives you another good visual of all the individual parcels. 4,700 parcels will stay dry. Stay dry. And these pumps are essential to the levee. So once these pumps are in place and the levee goes into place, you are in a completely different world than you were back in 2007. So, like we said at the very beginning of this presentation, this is the lowest part of the basin, and The Upper Basin enjoys, river forecasts. So from, PL all the way down to Porter, honestly, in the Porter area, the National Weather Service will give a forecast to tell you how high the river is gonna get. From Porter on down here, you don't get those forecasts because it's a little bit more complex to calculate the flow that's coming down and the tide that's going in. The Weather Service, is willing to work with us. And so we put in, rain gauges, additional rain gauges, as well as, screen gauges. And then we're gonna put in a tide gauge, also. And once all those gauges are in and reporting, then the National Weather Service will start developing their models so they can develop for a lower basin forecast, lower basin river forecast. Then we're gonna have from PL all the way down to Cosmopolis, a river forecast that people will know that the river is gonna get to X height or Y height. And so when you think about where we all collectively were in 2007, you were surprised by the storm. We didn't notice the severity of it. We didn't have all these projects to where we are today with a flood warning system and good river forecasts and pumps. It's a really remarkable experience that we've all been part of, and we're happy to share it all with you. So with that, that was sort of my quick little pitch. Edna is the chair of the flood authority. Vicki was our chair for many years. She's still chair of the Chehalis Basin Board. Rick and Nick work with us very closely. And then Brian Shea is our vice chair. And so we have very quality, thoughtful people participating in this process. And I think that the fruits of their participation is now really showing that here, and you're seeing it on the ground. So we came down to share this with you. So happy to take any questions. Stop share.
Do you have any questions for me? I think you guys have done a great job. Just since I've lived here since 2013, the flooding has totally changed. A lot less now.
Good.
Everybody appreciates it.
It's that giant umbrella we put over them. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, then we'll move on to request for council action with finance chair.
I'd like to make a motion requesting the city council adopt a proposed resolution for the finance committee that a public hearing be set for Wednesday, March 11th, 2026, for the purpose of discussing the city's EMS utility rate as required by RCW 3521-766.
Second.
Then moved in second, during the discussion on this. All in favor of this request to adopt a proposed resolution in the finance committee that a public hearing be set for Wednesday, March 11th, 2026, for the purpose of discussing the city's EMS utility rate as required by RCW 35.21.766. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Thank you. Okay, now go on to public safety, the chairperson of it.
Make a motion requesting the city council approve the 2026 agreement between the city of Aberdeen and the city of Cosmopolis for EMS services.
Second.
Is there discussion on this one? Person Gabe, you have your hand up? There's been a request, the city council approve the 2026 agreement between the city of Aberdeen and the city of Cosmopolis. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Next, we go on to public works with Chairperson Branson.
Let's see, the Public Works, Division has many ongoing projects. We'll just try to list off everything that we mentioned yesterday, the highway railway separation in the North Shore Valley, US 101 safety, area pump stations, Herbert Coffee, recurring of the reservoirs, wastewater treatment, the IMI inspection, and the remote Aberdeen Bridge are all new and one. So thank you to staff. And very well, continue staff. We've got one item on today's agenda. It's a resolution requesting city council adopt the proposed resolution that a public hearing is set for February 11, 2026 to receive public testimony on the proposed annual project plan for the year 2026. You can accept this resolution.
Second. Then we second, is there any discussion? Seeing none, there's been a request by city council to adopt the proposed resolution that a public hearing be set for February 11, 2026 to receive public testimony on the proposed annual project plan for the year 2026. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Now we'll go back to public comments. If there's any additional public comments, please start with your name and your ward or your city and keep your comments nice if you can. All right. Oh,
April by third ward. I don't know if I can explain this, but I was just wondering how this town and city officials feel about what's going on. Terrible stuff going on in the world, but it's hitting close to home, and then I'm talking about ice. We've had ice on our reservations, Quinault, my tribe, Quileute, and today they were on the Squally. Now, our tribal presidents have told us in letters that all tribal members need to have our tribal IDs on us and our paperwork on us. This is pretty scary, to have ICE on our reservations. And, I just hope that this town is supportive of immigrants. I was at the state capitol last week. I was a peacekeeper for, immigrant farmers, making sure that ICE didn't grab no one. I had my eyes on this one girl and she looked at me and said, "Are you my bodyguard?" And I told her parents, I said, if I do see ICE, I said, I'm throwing that girl over my shoulders and I'm running. Thankfully, there was no, nothing happened. It was a peaceful, day. But to have ICE here in Grace Harbor and have, you know, people may think I'm Mexican, you know, I've had people think I'm Mexican in the past, but, I'm hoping that our town is supportive of not only natives, immigrants, Mexicans, anybody that is of color, because these are some scary times. And family, I have family everywhere. I'm enrolled in Quileute, but I have family in Quinault, I have family in the Squally, and we're all on tippy toes. And we're all scared. Thank you.
is there any other, public comment? Seeing none, move on to further good of the order. Council President Sabora.
Yesterday, I sent out an email to all of you regarding House Bill 2489. If you did not get a chance to review the email, there's a copy of the letter I sent on each of your desks. Not only does this bill limit local government authority to address homelessness, it demands services that cities like ours and many others cannot afford. Opposing this is a core local government issue, not a partisan one. That said, I'd like to make a motion that the city council authorize and the letter of opposition to House Bill 2489 to the Washington State Legislature and to testify on behalf of the city council in opposition to House Bill 2489 before legislative committees or other legislative bodies as appropriate.
Second,
Second. Get first and second, is there any discussion? None.
I would imagine you'd be attending with Ruth as well for the hearings.
If she plans to speak as well, yes.
Yeah, okay.
I may have to attend virtually, but.
Okay.
Any other discussion?
Would it be acceptable to have a companion letter to go along for the people that are separate from the opposition? If this were to be approved?
You know, if the council votes to support one direction, then that's the direction the entire council goes.
Okay.
Any other discussion?
I would just suggest a roll call vote given the nature of our discussion.
Okay.
Francie? Bacon?
Yes.
Hodgkin?
Yes.
Hubbard?
yes.
Moynihan?
No.
Edberg?
Yes.
Fredo?
Yes.
Raddick?
Yes.
Shaw?
Yes.
Swore?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Wilson? No. Okay, we have, this passes with 10 yeses and 2 noes.
Okay, thank you. Anything else that is in order? All right, I'll take a motion now to go into executive session.
I move that we go into executive session under RCW 42.30.110 to consider the acquisition of real estate by lease or purchase with public knowledge regarding such consideration would cause the likelihood of increased price. To consider the minimum price at which real estate will be offered for sale or lease from public knowledge regarding such consideration would cause the likelihood of a decreased price. However, final action, selling or leasing public property taken in a meeting open to the public for no more than 30 minutes.
Second.
No action is expected to be taken after the executive session.
All right. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
It will be
Aye.
done.